All right, man. Shout out to Coop. What's up, Coop?
What up, fam?
Hey, man.
Good Friday.
Everything's good, man. It's been a crazy week period. Obviously the election and people counting votes and all that shit. But a lot of people
There's
didn't
an
put out no
election
music.
going on, right? There's
Huh?
election going on.
There is an
It's not over
election.
yet. Oh no, I thought it was on Tuesday. We still counting? We
They're
still
still
counting?
counting. It looks like, it looks
It
like
looks
the
like a
inevitable.
racist ass
But,
country, Mike. Looks like a racist ass country.
well,
like I want to say something right quick. People are like, "Oh, people are voting in record numbers." That's because the people who aren't racist are trying to stop the racist people from getting the racist guy back in office. And half the nation is obviously racist because half the nation still voted for this racist motherfucker. Let's go.
well, with that being said, welcoming everybody into the room. There wasn't a lot of music that came out this week. Everybody was kind of taking, I don't want to say taking a break, but, obviously the media was dominated by something else. And yeah, Swiss Beats put out earlier today, or he kind of slipped out that Cass and Tribe could be doing a versus. And so I figured, it'd be a great opportunity to actually talk about that because Common dropped last week too. And we missed the Common album last week. Not a lot of people made much of a fuss about it. We were going to talk about it a little bit this week, but I think that talking about Tribe and Cass' possibility of verses might be a little bit more interesting. And no disrespect to Common, but that album just wasn't that interesting to me. I'm just going to be honest. And anybody in the room who's coming in the room feel different, let me know. But what did you think about the Common album, real quick?
Album? It was terrible, Mike. Like it was terrible.
Terrible.
Like I mean, first of all, yeah, my bad, Mike. Sorry. The fact that first of all he dropped the whole album and we missed it.
We missed it, and then no. The part that got me was the fact that no one corrected us. Usually, when we miss an effort, people will be like,
Oh
"Yo, but that Common though, where y'all at with that?" Nobody said anything.
no, I'm sorry, dude. My daughter's packing. She going through all my stuff. No,
That's
you
all
want to
good.
know what? Folks do call us out. It kind of let me know where he's at with the culture. Mike, hold on one sec. Come on, sweetie. Talk to me. No, just use that bag.
It is all good, man. It happens. But yeah, everybody's
Yeah,
saying Cass too, man, because y'all in the room, y'all think the Cass is gonna beat Tribe in the verses. I don't think it's as easy as y'all might think, man. And I was talking to Coop earlier about this. I know we're going to get into this particularly, but I think the fact that Q-Tip is a strong force. First of all, I don't think the verses is actually going to happen. That's first of all. Second of
never.
all,
Not a chance.
so we're talking about fantasy football here, basically. But if so, let's just say it did happen, right? I think that Q-Tip being the force that he is as a DJ, as a producer, and as the frontman of Tribe, and the way that these verses are set up, Q-Tip will play the right records at the right time. Everything would be dropped properly. I don't know if Outkast would drop the right record. I think I would see this going kind of like how the RZA and Primo went, where RZA was playing haymakers and Primo just has so much versatile stuff to go through that he didn't pick all the right records. I think Cass would be Primo in this situation, and I think Tribe would be RZA in this situation. We know what Tribe is going to play.
Mike, I've thought Outcast the whole way until you submitted the whole Q-Tip being the DJ thing to me, pregame. And I found that to be very, very fascinating. That is a tipping point type of thing because if you know who Q-Tip is, has a totality of an artist, the record lover, beat selector, producer, like all of that, that's something that could tilt the scales in a close enough catalog. Even
Mm-hmm.
though I'm still in the edge to Outkast, when you said that, I was like, oh, who's DJing for Cast that can match Tip?
I mean, and then they got Ali Shaheed too, if they want to do that, you know.
Because Mike, the problem with Outkast's catalog is the brilliance of the catalog. Playing the wrong records against Tribe or playing your singles against Tribe. Like
Mm-hmm.
if Cast plays their singles, the Tribe singles, Cast is actually going to lose.
This
Like
is the
Cass is
thing.
shit in their album material.
For me personally, and I'm from Atlanta, right? You know what I'm saying? So it might be my thing, but for me personally, I think Cass' best records are the non-singles, where I feel Tribe's strongest records are the singles, the notable records. So, hold on. Let me go to some of the comments in here, man. Tidy Jones says, if it happens, it would just be Q-Tip and Big Boy playing the records. 3 Stacks won't show up. But you know what? I feel like for the ratings that Swiss wants to get for this, they're going to need 3 Stacks to show up. So I don't see it happening if 3 Stacks doesn't show up. The Tribe disrespect is unreal. I feel you, Steve. It really is. And we're going to go through the records in a second. And Outkast ain't losing this. Shannon says, you got Cass fucked up. They gonna play them in due time joints. You really think Cass will play in due time in Jazzy Bell? I don't know. I would love to hear Cass play Benzabima. I would love to hear Cass play some of the core records, but I don't know, or Over the Woods or something like that. Mike Holmes says, utmost respect to Tribe Called Quest. Shannon says, organized noise, period. Jonathan Tucker says, 2 different styles from Trenton, New Jersey. I don't know if it's 2 different styles. Cass is clearly Outkast influence. He said, we want Wu-Tang.
You mean Cass is clearly Tribe influence?
I'm sorry. Cass is truly Tribe influence. I apologize. Did I say the other way around? Yeah. Clearly. Whoa, Christopher Keith says, Outkast all day. When did that change, Christopher? You are such an Outkast naysayer. He must be trolling. He's got to be trolling. But anyway, I think...
Is he trolling?
The Tribe...
Hold on, can we back up for a second? Did somebody say in due time?
Someone said that they think that Cass would go in there and play the In Due Times and the Jazzy Bells. I don't think they would. I'm sorry. I don't think they would.
If they do that, they're going to lose.
That too.
Lose.
That's
part.
How you lose. That's the thing, because again, I feel like for me,
we got too many ATL cats that's like in love with those Outkast records. That's really
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Outside of like Jazzy Bell and In Due Time is not great for people outside of that, like Atlanta and sections of the South. It's not.
Right.
Now Over the Woods, niggas in Cali like Over the Woods, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Do they? See, I don't know. I don't be knowing that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Cass got a lot of ATLians love in Cali. I think that was
I think the Tribe disrespect is real crazy right now. Everybody's saying Cass because obviously Cass is the more current and more popular group, and the love for 3000 is just overbearing. But I don't think Cass in a landslide, and I'm a huge Cass fan. When you go down the if we go down 20, right? Because you and I did a playlist, like, what was that? During the quarantine. You had Cass, and I had Tribe. And
you did.
Yeah, and I'm going to go through that list in a second. I think a lot of people are understating Tribe's strong records, because I feel like I was saying before, I think Cass's strongest records are the non-singles. I think Cass singles aren't as strong. And I think Tribe's singles and notable records are their strongest records. Like, okay, I'm Tribe. I play Award Tour. What you gonna play?
Mike, I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna have to pull up the whole playlist right now.
We'll pull up the whole playlist. All right. Well, while you pulling up the whole playlist, let me go through some of these comments because people are going crazy in the comments. Keep them going.
Hold on, Mike. Real quick, before you go through the comments, the Tribe disrespect is probably an era thing. Tribe got started in 89, 90. A lot of our listeners and viewers probably think like Stankonia is Outkast's second album. So like, there's that. All right.
Are we going with? I mean, look, Bonita Applebaum. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? Like, I'll give it to Cass in the fact album for album, maybe. Go ahead.
When we did this, did you? I did the Outkast records first, and then you put the Tribe records in, correct?
I think so. I started off with Award Tour. You
started off with the Award Tour, which you should. I would go So Fresh, So Clean.
Okay, and then that's
where I would go to, because that's, to me, I don't know. Is So Fresh, So Clean Outkast's biggest single?
No. I think Miss Jackson's probably their biggest single.
Okay, but
Yeah.
much like is Award Tour Tribe's biggest single?
I think Award Tour is a party starter, man, and I would
No,
love
but is
to.
it their best single? Like, was it bigger than Electric Relaxation?
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's
So,
like one of their five biggest singles, but nah.
so this is why this battle is perfect because I don't think this is either one of their best singles, but I think it's the best single they've ever released. Like in terms of the notoriety, not their
Mm-hmm.
biggest single, but in terms of their best single, Award Tour and So Fresh So Clean are their best singles respectively.
Okay, so
Now,
that's what
which
we
track?
got. We got round one, Award Tour, So Fresh, So Clean. Who y'all got winning that? I got Award Tour. Award Tour is a better song than So Fresh, So Clean.
Mike, I'm gonna, I'm cast all day, but Mike, you are right. Award Tour is a tour de force. It's a hip hop classic. That verse from Q-Tip is a hip hop quotable. It's one of those verses that if you're a hip hop fan, everybody knows that verse. And it's just a moment. It's a party starter. And there's something about when that beat comes in, boom, boom, boom.
And you know what? For the
boom.
people
You
at
know
home, if you want to follow along with this playlist, you can go on Spotify. We got this playlist on Spotify. It's called Tribe Called Quest versus Outkast. So, all right, round one, we got Tribe with Award Tour, beating So Fresh, So Clean. All right, round
Yeah,
two, we had Lyrics to Go versus Over the Woods from ATLians.
that's Over the Woods, Mike.
What?
That's Over the Woods.
I
That's
love
Over
Over the Woods, but no.
That's Over the Woods. How about
No.
this? How about this? Over the Woods is when
Big Boy went
you're like,
nuts on there.
you're like, oh, no. He can be great.
Yeah.
And that's the record where he starts to be great. Like if you
Undercover.
go to the
Over the
first
Wood.
album, if you
Yeah.
go listen, so oh God, about to date myself. On the original tape, Over the Woods is how the second side of the tape starts. No, it's the last song on the tape, on the A side of the tape. If you listen to Big Boy Rhyme from Southern Playalistic all the way up through the first half of ATLians, and then you go listen to Over the Woods, you're like, it's like a gear. And he started shifting.
I mean, yeah.
into that
Listen,
gear.
that's the whole theme with ATLians. They're just much better rappers on ATLians than they were on the first album. And you're right. Big Boy hit it in the high gear, but that sample on Lyrics to Go, that Minnie Riperton, the inside like that's the thing with Tribe. I think the way their music came together and then the way Q-Tip came in that bitch like going on and on to the rhythm variation. But also represent the nation. When I speak the nation, please don't make the deviation. Rebels of the party who create the sensation. Mine is a pit of different information. I'm sorry, I got Lyrics to Go on this one. But I'm not mad at that because I love Over the Woods.
The people need to decide that. We're going to let the people decide. We're going to go to the next
All right,
one.
we'll go back to we'll let people decide that. All right, so I got Excursions, and then you got Southern Playalistic in round three. Southern Playalistic wins that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, Southern Playalistic wins that one.
Like, do we have to? We don't have to like go back and forth.
I don't think we would have to go back and forth on that. I'll concede to that.
That's probably going to be one of the few like clear
Yeah. Okay, so that was round three. Let's say we got 1-1 and we got one going to the people or whatever. And round four, we got Find a Way versus Black Ice. I'm gonna keep it real. I love Find a Way, but Black Ice is something else, man.
No, Mike, no.
Black Ice is something else.
Find a Way is the last great record they made as a group.
It is.
Mike.
It is.
Find a Way is their last great song together.
Before the new album, but yeah.
Hold on. There were a couple other tracks on the Love Movement toward the back half of the album. I can't remember any of the names per se.
Well, a lot of them were remakes and remixes, like the Scenario remix and stuff like that.
I mean, like on the actual like album material, not all that bonus and extra stuff that let you know that they were about to straight up break up on us. But yeah, man, Black Ice, Mike. I mean,
yeah, I give you that.
Andre's verse on Black Ice is better than Find a Way, and Find a Way is a great record.
Well, I mean, let's not do that because we do got the Why You Want to Go and Do That Love, huh?
Black Ice, Andre's verse on Black Ice is one of those verses that got him catapulted into is he the best MC in the game conversation. That's one of those verses that cemented that. I mean, if you really want to know the truth, Mike, his verses on Thought Process and on Black Ice are probably lyrically better than anything he did on the first two Outkast albums. Like,
now, honestly, no. I'm gonna be real. Growing up here in Atlanta, thought process was the one. Thought process made
thought process was the
people were
one.
walking down the
Like,
halls of elementary school quoting the thought process verse, and that made Dre a notable lyricist here.
it was so relatable. He was the first Atlanta dude to get lyrical, but it felt like he was. Now I'm sitting on the Lincoln 4 AM thinking that in reality the world is like a ball full of players. We trapped up in this maze where walls made of layers and only prayer is the type. Like when he started talking like that, Mike, it was like, hold on.
Oh, yeah,
we got somebody down here. We got somebody down here.
The elevators verse took it to that next level because it was that, and then the next time we heard him was the elevators verse, and then those were two of his.
And from that elevators verse on, he was in discussion as the best MC in the game.
All right, I'm looking at this next round. I think you got me on that one too. I got Bugging Out, and you did Akumenai. So we got Bugging Out versus Akumenai.
I love Bugging Out, Mike, but again, I mean, hold on.
Hey, for the Tribe fans, I'm gonna catch him I'm gonna catch him in a minute.
Isn't this their seminal record possibly? In the Aquemini, the seminal Outkast record possibly? That doesn't it just kind of put everything in a bow about who they are, what the group is, what the sound is? Isn't that the seminal record maybe?
You know what? I feel like the seminal record for Outkast that expresses and portrays everything that they ever were from beginning to end. I really think is Bonds Over Bad Dad. I think Bonds Over Bad Dad lets you know any and everything you need to know about all four of these Outkast albums wrapped in one song. Like, if you want to actually describe what that group is like to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Bombs Over Bad Dad puts you there. Now, you might not get any Southern playing
list. You said Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though, Mike. I don't think that's a good choice for the extension of their hip hop selves, because they for, especially in the South, they are the first hip hop group to get that lyrical respect.
Well, I think their lyrical skills on a song like Bombs Over Bad Dad shines through. Obviously, the tone is different.
They snap it, but both of them are all-time great MCs by the time Stankonia is coming out. So, like, you're expecting them to snap at that. You're like, when after hearing Big Boy on Aquemini, when Stankonia is coming out, like, that they're going to be snapping rhyme-wise because Big Boy took it to where Dre was damn near. So it's like you weren't even worried about the rhymes. So the rhymes are there all over Stankonia. It just don't feel like they about to break up, Mike.
Was Big Boy's rap performance better than Dre's on Stankonia?
Yes.
I think so, too. I think so, too.
Yes. He was better than him on Baghdad. He was better than him on Bombs Over Baghdad.
No, he wasn't. But he wasn't better than him on Bombs Over Baghdad.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Make a fat diamond. Hold on. Make a diamond out of dusty coal.
Record number 4, but we go on the roll. Hold up, slow up, stop, control like Janet Plant, take on his own.
No, not that, Mike. Delivery was crazy. Come to ATL, boy, you better not hack. The Dutch family gon' ride. Ha! No, Dre didn't. No, Mike, no.
Damn, you beat me on the next song, too. I swear I'm about to come back, though. All right.
Hold on, Mike. Mike, actually, I don't agree with you about the next song.
Okay.
I think Get a Hold is better than Elevators.
Get a Hold's better than Elevators. I disagree with that.
I mean, how about this, Mike? I'm going to tell you how I feel about Get a Hold. I feel like it's Q-Tip's best lyrical solo performance, and so I'm going to give him that over Elevators. That's his best lyrical solo performance.
Whoa. All right, we can go back to that. All right, well.
What song lyrically is he better on than on Get a Hold?
I thought.
Where it's just at the end.
I thought I got the song here. I know. Footprints.
No, I don't agree. Like that last verse on Get a Hold is, hey, yo, we just getting started. Got to redirect the vision. Got the beauty of a file plus dimensions like a prism. Your mind's locked down like a prison. Y'all really need to go lay down because positivity is risen. We hit. Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. But all right, next round we got Hot Sex versus Ain't No Thing. I got Hot Sex on the platter with this one.
Hot Sex is better, even though Ain't No Thing is probably one of my 2 or 3 personal favorite Outkast songs.
That's a classic record. I mean, just the sound of it, the tone of it, and it's one of those rare Outkast records where they got 2 verses each. That doesn't happen. You don't get 2 16s from Cass.
Super rare. They've done a handful of songs like that. I don't even think they've done 5 songs like that. Ain't No Thing is actually the song it sounds like Southern Playalistic the most. Like the Southern Playalistic feel is on that. It's on that record. It's like, oh no, these dudes from Atlanta and they country, but they like doing some street shit, but like they can rap.
Yeah.
But it's like real ATL. Like, yeah, it was a little bit of everything in there, but Hot
Yo,
Sex is better.
we promise we're gonna get to these comments in a second. We got a whole bunch of comments coming through. Let's get through this list real quick. All right, so I got Scenario Remix. I chose the remix because I think the remix is just stronger. Scenario Remix versus Return of the Gangsta. I got Scenario Remix on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. The Scenario Remix, Mike. I mean, next.
It is what it is. All right, We the People versus Slump. I got We the People on that, and I love Slump.
I got Slump. That's my favorite Cool Breeze verse.
Cool Breeze killed that shit. Backbone, that's my favorite Backbone verse.
Really? Backbone? No.
Off the top. Slip.
Big Bone, gangsta shit. Backbone on gangsta shit.
Backbone wasn't on the gangsta shit. That was C-Bone. That was C-Bone.
Was that C-Bone?
Yeah, that was C-Bone. He killed that. And you know what? In my opinion, I think T.I. got the song Dope Boys from the trap from that verse, but whatever.
Mike, he did. Dope Boys in the trap like a stack of dough. When beef come around, can't let it go.
T.I. doesn't give Outkast enough credit for their influence on him, and not to mention, Cool Breeze, East Point's greatest hit is trap music.
DF, Mike. DF, everybody in ATL.
All day.
Write them a check. If you wrote a rap, write DF a check. Call it a day. Right.
The Dudgeon family can't get enough props for Atlanta hip hop. All right, so the next one I got is, this was rough for me. Butter and Spaghetti Junction. Was this the original list? I don't remember these being matched up.
I don't remember them being matched up necessarily either, but can I let you in on something, Mike? I think both of these tracks are slightly overrated, so you pick.
What? Definitely.
Both of these tracks are overrated. Not like I understand why everybody else loves these two songs. I just don't love them like that. But I would probably see. Here's where the bias comes in, Mike. I'm thinking like, damn, I think Spaghetti Junction was the last time I heard Big Boy and Andre go back and forth.
Exactly. And since you were just saying that about, the seminal Outkast records that really describe what they're like as a group, Spaghetti Junction is what we remember Outkast for most on the first two albums. Mostly the first album. Like Spaghetti Junction sound like structurally this is what we would have made on the first album, but we made it now.
Spaghetti Junction sounds like it could have been made around the same time that Benzer Beamer was made after the first album, but before the second.
I'm definitely partial to that.
And I mean that
I'm partial to that. I mean, I'm picking Spaghetti Junction. I love Butter. I think it's one of the best Q-Tip produced tracks. I think that Fife was amazing on it, but Cass is Cass on Spaghetti Junction. Organized Noise is Organized Noise on Spaghetti Junction. Dre starts it off on some niggas elope with ski slopes and fall like avalanches. Come on, man. I mean, what are we doing? Okay.
What we doing?
Next song. All right, I got Can I Kick It versus Claiming True.
Can I Kick It? It's too epic, Mike.
That's
why I mean, it's like Tribe singles. When you start going through Tribe singles, it's like they have a catalog of low key bangers.
It's
a low key bangers. Award Tour. Can I Kick It? It's like all this stuff. It's like, no, that's a banger. Check the Rhyme. Scenario.
We got Footprints versus the Art of Storytelling Part 1. Whew. I got Footprints, though.
I got Footprints, too, actually, Mike.
Really? Okay.
Because
I think Spotify mixed this up.
Because next to Get a Hold of Me, Footprints is his best solo performance, and he's great. And I'm gonna give him some props for like when Q-Tip gets in what I like to call his zone. He's such a pleasure to listen to, is he not, Mike?
Yeah, man. Q-Tip's my favorite rapper. So yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, my favorite hip hop artist. My favorite rapper is Ghostface.
Ghost is your favorite rapper. Ghost is your favorite rapper. Q-Tip's your favorite hip hop.
And unfortunately, if Andre 3000 would make music, he could be my favorite rapper. But I like rappers that actually rap.
Next one, Mike. I'm not going to just so disrespectful.
All right, so we got Vibrant Thing versus Bombs Over Baghdad.
That's fascinating. I didn't realize we did that.
I think the Bombs Over Bad Dad is a better song. But if we're talking about in a versus, what does Vibrant Thing invoke?
Okay,
And
so Vibrant Thing low key started the whole like model in a video movement for the modern times, which is crazy that it came from Q-Tip. But not only did it do that, but isn't it just a fun record, Mike? Don't you love Vibrant Thing?
I love
Like
Vibrant Thing.
I know when Vibrant Thing came out, like the tribe heads were like, "Oh, what's Q-Tip doing?" And I was like, going solo on that ass.
I love Vibrant Thing. I think Vibrant Thing is like, I mean, it stands in a world of its own. And if you talk about wanting to make your own identity and not having to rehash or redo the legacy of Tribe, he created himself as a solo artist on that.
I mean, he went solo on that ass, but it's still the same.
Some people are saying Bombs Over Bad Dad wins over Vibrant Thing. That's what T.I. chose Jane. Gene
how
Charles
about
says.
this, Mike? If
I'm
I
not
was
mad
gonna
at
put
that.
I would put a tie-in right there. That would be my first tie probably for me, Vibrant Thing and Bombs Over Baghdad.
They say you don't hear that song anymore. Darnell Williams, what song do we not hear anymore? Vibrant Thing or Bonds Over Bad Dad? Because I hear Vibrant Thing more than I hear Bonds Over Bad Dad. And I think Bonds Over Bad not being played is more of a tempo thing. You can't really play that shit around anything. What do you go play after
like 132 or something. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, them beat was faster than 132. Now that I'm thinking about that beat in my head. What's that, Mike? Like 148 they on?
You would have to chop that shit in half and play something that is like, half the speed for it to even
Mike,
mix.
that beat's so fast, you might be able to chop and screw it, and it'll be at regular tempo when you get done chopping and screwing.
Vibrant Thing is one of my favorite moments. It's a coming of age moment, for me. But I would have to admit that Bombs Over Bad Dad is the better song. I will say that. All right, so we got The Chase Part 2 versus Spodiote Dopalicious.
Are you keeping count of this, Mike?
I'm not, but we're just going to go back and, talk to the people because,
Right.
The Chase versus Spodiote. I got Spodiote. I'm not going to lie to you.
Correct.
All right.
My first scene, Spodiote Dopalicious Angel.
All right, so we got. Is anybody at home keeping count? We got the Jazz Tribe Called Quest versus Gangsta Shit. I got Jazz on that.
I got Jazz on that too because that's probably one of my 5 or 6 favorite Tribe songs. I think. I mean, I know most people think the Midnight Marauders is their classic, but for me, it's the Low End Theory.
I think everybody thinks the Low End Theory is the best Tribe album.
Okay, so I mean, I think there was a time when just because of the notoriety of Midnight Marauders, and it kind of taking the Low End Theory place, it's good to know like it's kind of back where it needs to be. That's their seminal record. Jazz is the record that embodies what they were trying to do with that album. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I know Andre 3000 has said that Q-Tip's verse on there was the one that really inspired him. Just to kind of be who you are, because at that time I think he was saying that that's when he was trying to find out what kind of rapper he wanted to be, because he was rapping like Redman for a minute and just being that that cool, almost educated. It said it made him want to be smarter. So yeah. Well, you know the story about Outkast actually trying out for Rico Wade, right? They were rhyming over the Scenario remix beat when they were freestyling for him. That was like their audition.
When you saying all this right now, I'm thinking about the few times Andre's actually given interviews and has referenced how Busta Rhymes is his favorite MC. And Q-Tip thing. So I just want people to understand, it's like those are cats from Brooklyn and Queens that are influencing like a guy from Atlanta to create his craft, and that's the beautiful thing about hip hop and what we got going on. A guy from Queens and Brooklyn. This is a guy from Queens, a guy from Brooklyn. Dre never met them, but so inspired by the work and the material they put in.
I mean, that's the amazing thing about hip hop too. Like, you got so many people out here who've inspired others and have never met. Never, like, You don't even know who you're inspiring out there. It's just happening through the crowd. But to see that people like that actually link up later on and actually make something, it's amazing to see. All right, the next round we got Vibes and Stuff versus Wheels of Steel. I got Vibes and Stuff on that.
I got Wheels of Steel.
Of a vibe.
I love Wheels of Steel.
I love Wheels of Steel too. When Wheels of Steel, when ATLiens first came out, that was my favorite song on the album.
Babylon was my favorite when it first came out. Wheels of Steel was second. But there was just, here's another thing. Here's why I think ATLiens is so important. Southern Playalistic is a Southern hip hop album. ATLiens is a rap album. Like, they just happened to be Southern on ATLiens. There was a concerted effort for them to get their respect and make a rap album. Wheels of Steel is part of that venture with having scratches on the wheels of steel.
I see what you're saying, and I guess I understand why you don't want to say it like this. I feel
Wheels
like
of Steel is a super important record, Mike, and I'm going to tell you why, because it's the first record that I heard from down here that took the 808 upbringing of hip-hop and blended it into the modern-day hip-hop culture. That's what Wheels of Steel is. It's like them paying homage to New York with the DJ and the cutting and the scratches, but the beat is actually on some Miami bass 808 shit. And then at the end when Dre does the little back and forth, Mike, that's old school Atlanta shit that Dre's doing at the one time for my boy doing King shit, 2 times to the G, and that's ATL, Mike. You got to be from down here, Atlanta Live, like yeeking it to know what he's doing. Like that's what you yeet to, Mike.
You're right. You know I mean, you know that. Right. You're right. That song is a hybrid. That album is
a hybrid song.
Let's talk about ATLiens for a second, because I really feel like ATLiens is Outkast's boom bap album, and a lot of people feel like ATLiens is Outkast's best album. I know we got people in the room right now who are clearly Outkast fans. What Outkast album do y'all think is the best? I mean, me personally, I think Okumenai is. But for people who feel like ATLiens is the best, I understand that. Like, it has a feel that from beginning to end, and it feels great. It's almost like Off the Wall and Thriller, right? Off the Wall's feel beats Thriller all day, every day. But the actual,
and twice on Sunday, Mike.
But the intricacies and, you know, just structural and all that, you could tell they took it to the next level on Thriller. Same thing with Akumenai. But ATLiens, it's like, look, we're going to make us a hip-hop album. This is going to be beats and rhymes. And people who fuck with beats and rhymes, it's what it is.
No, 2 Dope Boys in the Cadillac, Wheels of Steel, Mainstream.
Yeah.
Money. Like they was on some rap shit. Like they was on some rap shit. Like
Over the Woods, like you said, man. When Big Boy came in that bitch like undercover, over the hills and through the woods I go. Like green lights, a southern nigga that's coming for your throat, not no guillotine.
No guillotine C. We beat them southern players.
Remember the football stats and roll back, rebuy 10 decaders. Now you up the par ready for your lesson. I got an ounce of thanking a couple of drinks and let me crack the session like y'all City High School was pulling them in and broke down rabbit. You know, it's amazing to me when people.
Habit, it's like smoking, choking up all the weed that we rolled up, talking about the click to get you get.
Who? You know, it really, it's amazing to me when people shit on Big Boy and act like Big Boy.
You already know what I was about to do. I was about to get on this soapbox, be like, I don't hear enough Big Boy on the radio for him to be such a legend in this city. Like you niggas don't. There is no hip hop radio without Outkast, in particular Big Boy.
Well, a lot of hip hop fans of certain eras, and obviously it's not the era that came up with Outkast, they treat Big Boy like in no disrespect, but I have to use an example, like he's Vinny from Naughty by Nature. And it's not the case.
I was actually going to say the way LeBron used to treat Kyrie.
Well, see, I say Vinny because, and it's no disrespect to Vinny, because clearly Tretch is the only person on OPP. Clearly that Tretch is on, you know what I mean? Like, so it makes sense. But people treat Big Boy like he don't rhyme or something. Like he the hype man or something. And
you think it's
You
think it's that bad?
I think it is that bad. I think it's when people have Dre in a GOAT status and they don't mention Big Boy in the top 10 of Southern MCs, you do understand this guy that you claim is one of the GOATs. This guy had to go back and forth with in every song in his 4-album career. right?
Yeah,
It
Dre don't
didn't
have no
sound
solo
like he
records
was getting,
on
huh?
Outkast album. Dre has no solo records on Outkast
No
album.
solo records. There is no, you won't be able to find any Dre song with two or more verses on it. And if you do find two verses, Big Boy got two verses.
No, Babylon. That's why I like Babylon so much. It's one of
Okay,
the few
all right,
Dre
you're
songs
right,
that has
right.
two verses.
Are
That's
those
why
are
Babylon is
those
so important.
16s though?
That's part of what makes Babylon important. You don't get that much of Dre that often, especially back to back verses. Like, yeah.
Dre fans are telling me to stop. Darnell Williams, what do we need to stop doing? We need to stop acting
Disrespectful,
like
Mike. You
Big Boy and
disrespectful about
Dre are
Dre.
on a similar level. Yes, Dre is lyrically better than Big Boy, but let's not act like they're worlds away.
No, Mike, when you're saying similar, did fam say similar level?
No, 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 no.
Okay, I'm about to say.
It just
So,
says
Mike, I don't
stop.
know. I don't know totally if it's disrespect. I know last week I said something to the effect that it's like there are only a couple guys up in a certain stratosphere in terms of where they take you and what they do on the mic. And Andre is one of those guys, and Big Boy is not one of those guys. But Mike, I'm talking about like the guys that I named last week. I think I may have named 5, 6 guys, and I would not name another one, as in like Rakim, Nas, Black Thought, KRS-One, Andre. Like after that, dude, like it's like lyrically speaking, it's like, eh.
I
And
want to.
so
I want to get to this comment. I don't want to interrupt you, but
no. Go ahead.
Toddy Jones says Dre clearly is the star and the most talented of the two. Dre was doing most of the beats, hooks, and melodies. I'm gonna get to that. No, 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 no. We're gonna get to that. And then he continues to say, "A day in the life of Andre Benjamin is 4 verses by Dre, just no hook." No, no, no. It's not the same. That's one long going story about your life. How many times can you do one long story about your life? No, that's I don't even count that song as far as 16, 16, 16. We don't have a Dre song out there that's solo where he has 3 rap verses. That's just the truth, and that's odd with any MC. Now,
48 bars. Matter it might have been more than 48 bars. Feels like 60.
It was a lot. It was a lot, but he was talking about his life from beginning to end. That's a little different. All right, now let me talk about that whole thing with Dre did most of the hooks and production.
Mike,
That's not true. That's not true.
Mike, actually, Mike, the song that blew them up, who hook is that, Mike?
Big Boy did a lot more hooks than people know. Yeah.
Oh, Mike, me and you, yo mama and your cousin too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rolling down the strip on Vogues, coming up slamming Cadillac doors. Who the hell you think wrote the song?
Elevators is Big Boy's hook. I know that I found out that Art of Storytelling was Big Boy's hook. It's like that now. You better go get the hump.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell when Dre does the hook, and it's not often.
Well, let me ask Mr. Jones this: what Dre hook in the Outkast song are we talking about?
Like Mike, hold on, Mike. Let's go back to even some of the other stuff, like "Ain't No Thing But a Chicken Wang." We having a smoke out in the desert with the Mary Jane. It's just
that's big.
Mike Daddy's East Point. It's all about the cess in your chest. It's the joint. That's Big Boy.
That's Big Boy. Now,
all the players came from far and wide wearing afros and braids, kicking them gangster rhymes. That's not Dre.
That's Sleepy. Sleepy Brown, so fresh, so clean. Now he did do Miss Jackson.
You're sitting there penning that song, Mike, and you can even tell from how Big Boy's album go. That was him and Sleepy working on a lot of those hooks.
It was.
Right.
It was.
The way you move, Mike, you can hear it when you hear Big Boy's album. The way you move and stuff come out, it's like, yeah, him and Sleepy's writing most of them hooks that Sleepy's singing on.
Yeah.
Let me take you on a funky ride.
Yeah. We'll get, all right, look, we will give Andre Bombs Over Baghdad and Miss Jackson. We'll give you that. But what other ones are we talking about here? And as far as production goes, that's more of Mr.
Mike,
DJ, and that's more.
Big Boy did almost all their big hooks, Mike. Rosa Parks, aha, hush that fuss. Everybody move to the back of the bus. Do you want to bump and slump with us? We the type of people make.
That's Big Boy. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't like people shitting on Big Boy like that, like Dre did all the work or something. They were a 50-50 situation here.
Like, like now that I'm thinking about it, it's like Big Boy wrote most of their great hooks.
He did. Big Boy don't get enough credit. It is what it is, man. But
Like, do we got Dre too high?
huh?
We got Dre too high?
I mean, you know how I feel about that. What I will say about Dre is the fact that I think that
a pedestal because like I'm running down the Outkast hits in my mind, and I'm like, damn, like, are these? How about this? Like,
that's why having solo material is important. So we were able to see.
right? Because Mike, what I was about to submit to you is like, Dre is great, but some of those records, the hooks are so catchy. They were going to be hook records if he didn't do those verses.
Tidy Jones says, no, go check the production credits after ATLiens. Cast was doing their own beats. Yes, they were, but they formed a production collective which comprised of Dre, Big Boy, and Mr. DJ, and they called themselves Earth Tone 3. They were supposed to be the new version of Organized Noise, which was Sleepy, Rico, and Ray. And so, yes, it wasn't just Dre doing this stuff by himself. This was Earth Tone 3, which once again was Mr. DJ, Dre, and Big Boy. And based on the sound, it was mostly Mr. DJ who made Art of Storytelling 1, 2, Black Ice, etc. For the confused people out there.
If I'm not mistaken, they produced 7 of like the 13 tracks on ATLiens too. So as soon as they got done with Southern Playalistic, they was on to get to the other side. So they've been doing that for a while, you know.
But
like Organized Noise only people forget this. Organized Noise really just kicked Outkast off and helped them with the second album some, but after that it was like Cast.
Well, the thing was, Outkast, which was a good move on their end, and no disrespect to anybody, they didn't depend on Organized Noise for their growth, and they went ahead and took control of their creative growth. And whereas Goody Mob depend on Organized Noise production, and that was kind of their downfall in that sense. When
no, those were both smart business decisions. Like Big Boy and Andre just has on the lyrical side are just more talented than Goody Mob, and something Soul Food is and Still Standing are classics. But a lot of the classic status of it does have to do with how beautifully it is put together by Organized Noise. It's like Soul Food is full of classic records. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. Like they hit the mark with the production style, with the song sequence. Like on Goody's first 2 albums, they hit their mark production wise in ways that they didn't even hit on Southern Playalistic. And maybe Outkast seen that too. Like how great Soul Food sounds production-wise and song sequence and structure-wise could have influenced Outkast to go elsewhere because they could have seen what Organized Noise was doing with Goody working on Soul Food while they're about to get in the can and prep ATLiens, and that's probably what kind of sent them on a different path.
No, I agree. I think that Soul Food changed the trajectory of everything that Outkast was doing and what Organized and the Dungeon in general was doing. On a side note, they're celebrating the 25th anniversary of that album this month, and they're going to do a re-release, and it's got like 8 new, I don't know if new tracks, but it might be some demos or something like that. But I personally think that Soul Food is the second best album to ever come out of Atlanta. I got Akumina, and then I got Soul Food, and then I got Southern Playalistic after that. And then I might have Crazy Sexy Cool. But I think that the position that Organized took on Soul Food was perfect. They stepped back a little bit production-wise. Huh?
You said second best?
I think it's the second best album to ever come out of Atlanta. Right after Akumina.
Mike, like period?
Period.
Like we talking rap? We talking rap?
I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about.
Mike, let's back up.
We can back up. Go ahead.
We got to back up. I mean, it's not better than Crazy Sexy Cool.
It's better than Crazy Sexy Cool. Yes, it is.
No, it's not, Mike. No, it's not, Mike. No, it's not.
It's better than Crazy Sexy Cool.
No, it's not. Mike.
And I love TLC, but it's better than Crazy Sexy Cool.
Mike, I don't say this too often. That's an album that went diamond that deserved to go diamond.
It did. It did.
There aren't like it is rare that an album like that gets made where it's like it sells more than 10 million records and it deserves it.
It deserved it. No, I agree with you.
I mean, Mike. I mean,
Listen,
Mike, Mike.
this is my thing with soul food. I might be partial to it, but first of
Get off
all,
my
when
shit
you
right
jump
now.
out,
T-Bob,
I I think Cell Therapy is one of the most balls out singles ever in hip hop. It's right there with Kanye's Through the Wire.
No,
They
like
came out on some huh?
Mike, as far as groups starting off their career, it's the ballsiest thing ever.
Ever.
They started off their career with that song.
Ever.
It's ballsy.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no question. But it's not better than Crazy Sexy Cool, Mike. That's
and
then
the album starts off with obviously the intro, which gives you a little bit of peek into what CeeLo is, and then it goes into thought process. And then his first bars on there, sometimes I don't even know how I'm gonna eat. About $20 away from being on the street. Shit. Might see a nigga on TV. Like that album gave you stuff lyrically that you just weren't hearing from people here, there, and anywhere.
Mike, Creep, Waterfalls, Red Light Special, Kick Your Game, the remake of If I Was Your Girlfriend, Something Wicked This Way Come that actually has one of Dre's better verses on there to end the album.
Rewind. As a Prince fan, you like that If I Was Your Girlfriend remake?
I do. I love what they did with the beat because I was like, hold on, Mike, as a Prince fan, and I'm a die hard Prince fan. Mm-hmm. That's actually one of my favorite remakes of his because they embody the sexiness of the song the way it was intended. It's an androgynous song. It's a man wrote that song about being a woman's girlfriend, but to hear the girls come and flip it and make it sexy in a different way than he made it sexy. Like, yeah, I do like it. It was a job well done. And when that beat drops, Mike, it's serious when that shit drops in your system. And they hit you with a little harmony. Like, no, yeah, that shit was well put together. I do like it.
I didn't like the I didn't
better
like
than
the
How Come You Don't Call Me by Alicia Keys. Like, it's better than that. It's better than that Sinead O'Connor shit everybody thinks is like the best Prince remake ever.
No, the best Prince remake ever is Shaka Khan.
I feel for you. Yeah. I Feel for You by Shaka Khan. Yeah. That is correct.
Yeah. But
no. I'm in here. I Feel for You by Shaka Khan is people don't even realize that was on Prince's first album. Mm-hmm. People don't even know that. I Feel for You was on Prince's first album.
But yeah, I didn't like the Kick Your Game that they put on Crazy Sexy Cool. If we want to sit here and nitpick, I like the remix, the one that had Craig Mack on it or whatever. I didn't really like that one.
Like the intro to Crazy Sexy Cool with Fife. I don't know, God. I don't know. God. You never heard a rapper do an intro to an R&B singer's album and stuff like that? That album was crazy. Mike Dallas, Austin, Babyface, Jermaine Dupri, L.A. Reid.
I love Dallas. I think Dallas is the king of Atlanta. But Case of the Fake People, you like that one too?
That's the weakest song on there.
Okay. Let's Do It Again yeah, I'm sorry. I got Soul Food over that, man.
Switch, Mike. Switch is the shit too. You don't like Switch? No,
I like Switch. I like Switch. But I'm telling you, look. That Soul Food album.
The best rap album ever come out of Atlanta.
That Soul Food album, it just lyrically went somewhere that I don't think we've been since. I think that when you got four guys, it was interesting in the fact that it was like four guys came through with their debut album as a group, but you knew everything about these four individuals. Everybody came through with their own individual perspectives. Like, guess who, right? Like, you know about Gip's relationship with his mama. You know what was going on with CeeLo's mom. You know Timo's relationship with his mom and Cujo. Like, yeah, man, Sesame Street. I don't know, man. For me, it's just.
I'm not knocking anything that you're saying. I think you know how I feel about soul food. I mean, on a personal level, I probably have it somewhere right next to Southern Playalistic. It's like second or third best rap album that ever come out of Atlanta after Aquemini. But I mean, Crazy Sexy Cool wasn't just an Atlanta moment. That was a moment for black music, for black women. Like, they ran that year, Mike. They ran that year, like, music. And to see some chicks from Atlanta do it, like, I don't know, Mike. It's just, just
Toddy
not.
Jones says Soul Food is the best rap album to ever come out of Atlanta and top 5 rap album overall. Facts 100. Shannon Green said, I love Still
We
Standing.
know, but okay. Hold on. First of all, like I don't even know if so. Here's how great 1995 was, Mike. Soul Food might have been the third, fourth, or fifth best rap album that year. It wasn't even the best rap album that year.
Christopher says
best rap album that year, if you really
SWV.
want to know the truth.
I'm
Or
sorry.
third. It might have been third, maybe.
Not
like about this, Mike. If you wanna tell me that Soul Food is better than Liquid Swords, like I'll agree with you, but we're about to argue. But it's not better than the Purple Tape, and it's not better than the Infamous.
I don't even want to go there with 95.
And hardcore Southern enthusiasts will also remind you that The Diary by Scarface came out in 95 too. It might not have even been the best rap album to come out of the South that
I
year.
thought The Diary came out in
more than Soul
94.
Food, too.
I thought The Diary came out in 94.
If it did come out in 94, it's December of 94. And if The Diary came out in 1994, Mike, let's go ahead and say that 1994 is the best rap year ever. If The Diary came out, if The Diary December of 94, so you're telling me we got Illmatic, Ready to Die, Southern Playalistic, and The Diary in the same year?
And main ingredient. Yo,
94.
Chris Keith
you
said
know
something.
I'm thinking Riding Dirty by UGK is 95.
Yeah.
Riding Dirty is 95.
Chris Keith said something that I want to address, man. Chris Keith said SWV is greater than TLC. I said what I said, but you know what?
You cut the water off.
Huh?
No.
No, what? I fuck with that because you know what? I heard
they're better singers. Coco's a better singer.
Of course. Listen, TLC. Well, no, I think it was T-Boz. She was on somebody's show. And she was acting like nobody was on their level. She was like, because they were asking her about the verses. And she said, you know, we ain't really compare ourselves to anybody. Ain't nobody really compare to us. Only maybe Aaliyah could compare to. I'm like, I think SWV could beat TLC in the verses. I think SWV could beat TLC in the verses straight up.
I don't. They're going to lose. They're going to lose pretty bad. But let me tell you who don't nobody want no smoke with, Mike. You know who don't nobody want no smoke with, Mike? I'm going to give you a chance and let you say it. Who don't want none of the girls want no smoke with, Mike?
I don't even count In Vogue. There's somebody else. No, I don't even count them.
Yeah,
they're not even in the same stratosphere. They're far.
Look,
yeah.
Look, all of them, look. Those four ladies walk in the room, you can go ahead and kill all that. All that. They can out-sing every...
I mean, member for member In Vogue.
They might be the... Mike, vocally, they're the best group ever.
I think
male
so.
Or female. Male or female. Vocally, they're the best group.
Member for member, yes, I agree.
Member for member, Mike. You ain't no.
We're not even gonna talk about In Vogue, man. We're not even gonna talk about In Vogue.
Their first two albums, I can remember the older women who were around me that were putting me onto those records in my family, some friends that having legitimate arguments about who's the lead singer because you really couldn't figure it out.
No, they rotated. And then,
but I think she's the lead singer. I think she's the lead singer.
No. All of them, listen, all of them sang lead on important records for that group. Not to mention, when they weren't singing lead, they were in the back doing perfect harmonies together. We're not even going to talk about that group. They something else. Like, I'm not even going to dignify. I'm not even. They're the Wu-Tang.
SWV and TLC together, they couldn't see In Vogue with telepathy, to quote B.I.G. Right.
This is the thing, man. I think that SWV's music has aged better than TLC's music. Can we agree to that? I love TLC, and I'm from here. Like, I don't believe that TLC's music has aged that well. I think SWV, on that first album alone, if they hit you with anything, they hit you with that Right Here Human Nature joint. They hit you with You're Always on My Mind. They hit you with Downtown. Yeah.
Downtown sounds like it's 1992, Mike, and it stayed in 1992.
But it sounds good as a 1992,
Mike,
though.
Weak, You're Always on My Mind, and the Right Here Human Nature, like, yeah, all three of those are like, you can put them on right now. Weak is one of those eternal songs that you can, like,
what does TLC have to really beat Weak, though? I think TLC's best record to me is Creep.
Best record?
I think TLC's best record is Creep.
I thought Red Light Special was better than Creep, but because of Chili's vocals on there and the guitar riff.
Well,
It was
Babyface did his thing on Red Light Special,
yeah.
but
Babyface did his thing. Red
so
Light
what
Special was the
happens?
tour de force for me. How about this? Red Light Special was everything that embodied that album to me too. It had Tion with the sultry, silky vocals. Chili came through and just like nailed it at the end. It had the guitar.
It's a
It had the
beautiful
video and
record.
the sex appeal. It's Babyface, it's peak Babyface
Yeah.
type shit going on. It's 94, so Babyface is right number one. It's like,
Is it better than You're Always on My Mind?
yes,
You think so? Okay.
I do.
What about
And
what's the song that the Neptunes did? Like Use Your Heart. Use your heart and not your eyes.
no, Use Your Heart's a classic.
Mm-hmm. What about Rain? Rain Down on Me. What about that? What about Can We Get Kinky Tonight? See, they're not going to be as much of a pushover as people think.
Mike, you want to know what? I'm always the one turning you and convincing you. I think you just turned me on TLC Live. Because I'm thinking about the SWV records that you're naming. I love all of those records, and I still play all of those records. I don't be playing TLC shit.
Exactly.
Like if Use Your Heart comes on, I'm going to listen to it. If Rain comes on, I'm going to listen to it. If Weak comes on, I'm going to listen to it. If You're Always on My Mind comes on, I'm going to listen to it. You're right. You're right, because it takes me there, and it's a moment. And you're right, TLC may not have enough of those moments. And you're right, Mike. Can We Get Kinky Tonight might be the best of the bunch. That might be my favorite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People sit here acting like SWV ain't no match. Like, Tion disrespecting, bro. Like, what you doing?
Like, she might need to watch her tone. You want to know what? She might need to watch her tone.
Yeah.
She might need to watch her tone.
And not to mention anything, if they throw that anything from the Above the Rim soundtrack, you know what I'm saying?
Coco's a good enough vocalist. She could be the fifth member of En Vogue, so vocally it's not even... Coco can sing.
Oh, Coco's great. Come on now.
I ain't saying she can sing.
Yeah, Coco was awesome. Coco was next level.
We done went epic off course. We still got to finish up Tribe.
Oh yeah. Let's get back to that.
We just went off course. I just want to let you know it was like epic. It was like one. We've had some special go off course moments, Mike. But I've looked back at this a couple times. It's like, oh yeah, we just went somewhere totally
different. But I'm looking at the chat. People are following us with this. You know what? Let me go to the chat real quick.
I know that. I mean, we're righteous with it, and I appreciate the love. But it's like we should probably at least finish these last sets of 6 songs.
Chris said SWV versus anybody. Brian McLaughlin said SWV will slaughter TLC. Shannon Green said SWV was on a lot of soundtracks too. Yes, they were. Tidy Jones said, y'all must have never heard Waterfalls from TLC. Confession time. I don't really love Waterfalls.
Better not like you, Mike. Don't do it. Just don't say nothing. Mike. Don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing, Mike. I don't want to hear you talk about how you don't like one of the biggest songs. Mike, that's the biggest song that ever came out of Atlanta. I don't want to hear you say that right now. And Left Eye's verse, Mike, and Left Eye's verse on there, like, come on, like, don't do that, Mike.
Well, you know what? People are bringing up Jodeci too, because that was kind of put in the news too.
First of all y'all, step back. It's Charlotte, North Carolina in the house. Don't nobody want no smoke with Jodeci. All right?
Nobody want no smoke with Jodeci. But you know what?
That's QC. Mike. So for me, it's personal with Jodeci. My older cousins grew up with Jodeci. One of my cousins was one of their first backup dancers. You know what I mean? Like, I used to go see my aunt when I lived down here in the summertime. I used to be like, who are these skinny niggas? They was up in Hidden Valley. I used to be like, who are these skinny niggas singing on my auntie porch? This is like 88, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like 89.
Legendary shit.
Yeah. Like, and them niggas wild. Don't ever get it twisted.
I believe that.
Wild. It's real wild stories. And the
Andre
stories are
Shear
real,
says...
They coming from that nigga right there.
Andre Shear says Waterfall was, man. See, the thing with Waterfalls is the fact that I think that MTV played it to death. It was one of those things where, the AIDS epidemic was what it was. And... they just played that video so much, it kind of turned me against the song. Kind of like Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey's One Sweet Day. It's a great song, but they played it so much that I just didn't like it anymore.
Is that song a great song? It has no soul to it. There's no soul in that
I'm being nice, man. It's not about soul. It's about losing a loved one.
It's a beautiful vocal exercise. You want to show somebody how to sing on record and on cue, like it's great. There's no soul to that record.
Before we get back to this Tribe and Cast thing, Timbaland did post up something on Twitter showing like a magazine cover of Jodeci, kind of alluding to the fact that Jodeci might be in a Verzuz, and everybody kind of erupted about it. The thing is, there's only really one group for Jodeci to really go against, and we all know it's Boys to Men, if that's gonna happen.
They don't want that smoke. They don't want it with my boys. No, they don't want that smoke.
I've been saying that for a long time. Jodeci's music, just like how I feel about SWV and TLC, Jodeci's music has aged much better than Boys to Men's music.
How about this? Does Boys to Men even have one song that can even compete with Stay? Like when Stay comes on, Mike, it's over. Don't talk.
Just listen.
Mike, it's a rap for Boys to Men.
Yeah, let me ask the people in the chat. What Boys to Men song would you put against Stay? What Boys to Men song would you put against Stay?
Right. What they got? They don't got nothing.
Would you put I'll Make Love to You against Stay? Or would you put that ain't got no soul really.
Mike, you want me to keep going? Mike, they ain't got nothing for Stay, Lately, Come and Talk to Me. I'm Still Waiting. What About Us? Fiending.
I agree.
Cry for You.
100%.
Ride and Slide. Love You for Life. Freaking You. Get On Up. Best R&B male group ever. QC, baby.
You know why I love Jodeci so much, and we'll get back to Tribe.
And they behave like rappers behind the scenes, so try that fuck shit if you want to, too. Right.
Brian McLaughlin said Boys to Men has no edge. I agree with that. Yeah.
That's how they went diamond and went overseas. They ain't have no edge. Jodeci over here going double platinum. Them fools over there selling 12 million records. We like looking like those dudes selling 12 million. These guys selling 2-3 million. I'll be like, okay.
Okay, Shannon Green said Bend the Knee. You want to put Bend the Knee against Stay?
Bend the Knee is their best song. I was going to let somebody else mention it. That's their best record. Bend the Knee is their best record.
Well, what about when they play Motown Philly? What Jodeci got for that?
Motown Philly sounds like 1990. Jodeci got everything for that. Jodeci shit timeless. That's what I'm saying. Jodeci can play Get On Up and beat Motown Philly.
No, and I'm a big Jodeci person. I would say Motown Philly is going to beat Get On Up. I never was a big fan of Get On Up.
You want to know, even the record that the show, the after party in the hotel ends with the acapella joint, You Give Good Love in the Morning.
Yeah.
But they got, no, Mike, nobody want that.
But I mean, that's what's gonna happen. I do think that. Do you think that Boyz II Men has more singles than Jodeci though? Like, do they have more notable singles than Jodeci? Because I was trying to name out 20 notable Jodeci records.
I'll Make Love to You, On Bended Knee, and Waters Runs Dry are bigger records success-wise than anything Jodeci's done in terms of the success of them. But Mike, ain't nobody thinking them records is Mike, them records ain't even messing with the first 3 Jodeci songs you hear on Jodeci's first song. Mike.
What about Vibin'? What about the Vibin' remix with Tretch, Craig Mack, Method Man, and Busta Rhymes?
Mike, you know we ain't talked about Forever My Lady at all, right?
We haven't talked about Forever My Lady.
Good night. Good night. Hello.
Well, you know, if we talk about, would they be able to use the Casey and JoJo stuff?
Mike, let's not turn a blowout into an embarrassment.
Well, I'm asking that because Shannon's talking about New Edition. And see, if you bring in New Edition, are they able to use like the Bobby Brown stuff, the Ralph Tresvant stuff, the Johnny Gill stuff, the BBD stuff, and the New Edition stuff? I think they should be able to. They're like the Wu-Tang of R&B, man.
That's about what Shannon's asking. Maybe they should.
Yeah.
It's an unfair advantage.
It's not unfair. They earned it. It is what it is.
It's unfair. I mean, you can earn something and it still be unfair. Like when Golden State signed Kevin Durant, like it was unfair but still legit.
Yeah.
Like them putting all that out, it's unfair but still legit.
You know, I know somebody and that person will remain nameless, but they try to argue me that New Edition is a better group than the Jackson 5 for that reason. The fact that they do have BBD in that group, they do have Ralph Tresvant, they do have Bobby Brown, they have Johnny Gill and his solo stuff, and it's like when you get past Michael, what else does the Jackson 5 have? That's his argument, not mine.
I was about to ask you that. Like, because how about this, Mike? Young Mike's not good enough to fade New Edition. Grown ass Mike can fade anybody, not named Prince or
Are
Stevie
you
Wonder.
serious? I think you're understating Young Mike. Young Mike would drag Young New Edition.
Come on. Young Mike would drag Young New
Young
Edition?
Mike would
Like,
drag Ralph, Bobby, Ronnie, Ricky,
Ronnie, Paulie,
anybody. No. Christopher says New Edition greater than the Jackson 5. Yes, I agree with Brian McLaughlin. He said Young Mike would kill New Edition. Yes, he would.
No. Like, what Young Mike y'all talking about? Y'all talking about 10-year-old Mike?
I'm talking about maybe tomorrow, Mike.
Are you talking, hold on, when we're talking about Mike, are we talking about Mike that's about to make Off the Wall or Mike that's like with his brothers? Like, which Mike
I'm
y'all
talking about Got to Be There, Mike. I'm talking about little nigga with the fro, Mike. I don't even have to talk about
Mike.
Can You Feel It, Mike. I'm talking about Wanna Be Where You Are, Mike.
You're bugging. And so is he.
Wanna Be Where You Are, Mike? Got to Be There, Mike? Nah, man. I'm sorry. And see, Chris is trying to pull us into this Prince is better than Michael Jackson conversation. See, that's going to get us all the way off course. We need to get back. But I do think New Edition is a very special group. When you see these type of, I guess, contests or whatever, like a Verzuz, it really shows you how unique and special a group like New Edition is. It's not many groups like them that have that much individual success and group success also. So cheers,
Mike.
To
Y'all are wrong. No, y'all are wrong. No, y'all are wrong because Young Mike didn't have it like that. Like, he had the stage presence, like he had it all, but Mike, it hadn't come to fruition like y'all trying to make it seem like. Like, no,
you trying to act like the young niggas in New Edition was on point. They sounded. I don't want to be disrespectful. They sounded very amateur in a sense where they were putting them out before they were ready. You really listen to Candy Girl and think that those guys are ready?
No.
Exactly. Michael Jackson was ready from the jump. Young Mike would slaughter Young New Edition.
Mike, New Edition got more hits and more memorable songs than the Jackson 5.
What?
Name the Jackson 5 songs that are memorable. Name them. Watch.
We could start with ABC.
Their Jackson 5 catalog ain't like y'all saying it is. Mike's catalog is like that. Y'all gotta stop doing that.
No. We could start. No.
Like, Mike, because after I'll Be There and ABC, where's Epic? Like, where's the Epic stuff after those two records?
See, you know what? We're gonna have to go there. I Want You Back's not Epic. So all right, so we got
all y'all Jackson 5 fans. All y'all Jackson 5 fans.
All right, we got I Want You Back. I'm gonna start it off. We got I Want You Back, right? And then we got ABC. We got I'll Be There, right? You got Who's Loving You?
No, Who's Loving You, Mike?
That's the Jackson 5 song. Stop it.
I don't know how great that song is, Mike. For you to be
Never Can Say Goodbye.
I like Never Can Say Goodbye.
Yeah, okay.
With that.
Dancing Machine. Stop the Love You Save May Be Your Own.
Oh, Dancing Machine. Isn't that grown up, Mike? Hold on. Is that transition?
Does that cross the border?
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow.
Borderline. It's borderline.
Nah, I think Dancing Machine, he was still a kid.
No, that's why I'm saying it's still fine. I think he was still a kid when that came out.
Maybe tomorrow.
Mike, Mr. Telephone Man, Can You Stand the Rain?
Can You Stand the Rain? They were grown. Stop it.
Mike,
No. They were grown on Can You Stand the Rain. That was, no.
They are not grown.
They were grown. Okay. Bro, they were grown. That was the same.
Like he was 45 years old since he was 10, Mike. I mean, you can't.
No, they were grown on that. That was If It Isn't Love's album. No. You talk about Candy Girl and Mr. Telephone Man. ABC, I Want You Back, and Stop the Love You Save blow those records away. Let's be real.
I'm gonna let you have that. I just don't like y'all like saying that one guy is better than a group of five guys who are really talented and like iconic
I will say
to a
this:
degree.
Michael Jackson is better than BBD, Bobby Brown, Johnny Gill, and Ralph Tresvant put together. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
know it
grown
sounds
up Mike. Grown
disrespectful,
up
but
Mike. Yes, grown up Mike. I mean, that ain't saying nothing. It's grown up Mike.
okay, let's get back to this playlist real quick so we can
You
wrap
need an
this
apple
up.
bump versus crumbling herb, Mike. In case you were wondering where we're at with
Oh,
this
is that where we're
45
at?
minute
Okay.
diversion, yeah, between the Tribe Called Quest and
Okay.
Outkast.
All
We're
right, so
actually at
back
a
to
great
this
point.
tribe thing, right? Tribe and cast thing. We got Bonita Applebaum versus Crumble and Herb, like Coop said. Bonita got that. I
It's
love
such a
Crumble and
big
Herb.
record. I'll give it to you. I just prefer Crumbling Herb. Crumbling Herb was my favorite song on Southern Playalistic. That Ain't No Thing. Those were my two favorite records.
We got 8 Million Stories versus Hootie Hoo. Hootie
Hootie
Hoo,
Who?
man. Yeah, yeah. Check the Rhyme versus Extraterrestrial.
I gotta check the rhyme.
Yeah, of course. And then you got
Yeah.
Electric Relaxation versus International Players. Electric Relaxation.
You think so, Mike?
Yeah. This is my thing with Cass and Tribe, right? I think that, and I was listening to a lot of both groups just, gearing up for the show. I think that what Cass did, just totally reinventing themselves throughout their career, was incredible. And I think a lot of people don't really notate how influenced the Cass was by De La Soul, album structure wise, as they are. Really, their makeup is more like Tribe, but when you think about how they put things together from skits and all that stuff, they're very De La influenced when it comes to the structure of their projects. So the growth of, from Southern Playalistic to ATLians to Kuminati Stankonia to Speakerbox Love Below, I would say that yes, Outkast is the more rounded group, but I do think that Tribe might have more bangers than Cass.
If we're talking bangers, Mike, if we're talking about just like
Staples.
staples, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's easier to be pulled into Tribe's world than Outkast world. You're not really going to know what Outkast world looks like until you buy the album. Tribe will let you know what's going on even through their bangers. It's like part of why Midnight Marauders is considered to be their biggest album is because you can hear the fun that they're having on Award Tour and Electric Relaxation. You can hear the tension on Once Again and Stressed Out on Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Right.
You can hear jazz on Check the Rhyme and Who Got the Jazz.
Shannon says y'all naming Cass songs that would never play. What Cass songs would you put against Tribe? Because that's the dilemma. It's like a lot of the Cass singles aren't as strong against Tribe.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Outkast is very much like Wu-Tang in the sense that it's like, no, the real shit's on the album.
The real shit's on the album. That's how I feel as an Outkast fan. Like, you know what? When I was going through Akumanai, I went straight to Y'all Scared. Nobody would ever even name that record when it comes to Outkast's catalog. And so those are the Cast songs that I draw to. And, you've talked about it before. You don't like that happy shit. Hey, y'all, some happy shit. Listen, if Cass is in a damn versus, yes, R.I.P. King Von. If Cass is in a versus, they better not play no Hey Y'all. I'm just saying. And that's no disrespect to the record, but when we talking hip hop, that's just not it. And the way you
who
move.
Said rest in peace, King Von?
Who
said rest in peace, King Von?
Andre Shazier said that.
Andre, you from the A fam?
Well, I mean, King Von's from Chicago.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just asking him.
Yeah.
Because Dre's up here every week, and it's like, like me and my folks was on the thread and hit me about the King Von today about 140, so I just wanted to see what the word was like on the wire. I was just,
Yeah. Chris says Hey Y'all's whack as fuck. I don't think Hey Y'all's
No,
whack.
it's not whack. It just didn't grow on you. It's not as classic as it seemed when it first came out. People was a little bit too in love with Dre, and it's like, oh my God, he's like the male Lauryn Hill, and da 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 da. And it's like, nah, it's a dope record. She Lives in My Lap's the real banger.
It is. She Lives in My Lap is the best song Andre ever made. Shannon Green says artist storytelling, Hey Y'all, prototype, whole world, skew it on the Barbie. Okay, two of those I think was in here. But I don't
Did
think
we
you could put
put on
Hey
the
Y'all
Barbie?
prototype in the whole world against Tribe's catalog. I just don't think that works for them.
They would lose both of those.
They would lose all three of those. Nah.
Oh, is it?
But yeah, Andre said he's not from the A. He said that Von was one of his son's favorite rappers. That's how we know about it.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, I think that. Hey y'all, let me ask you this: did you, if you had to put these two songs against each other, and of course, we do the comparative thing anyway. What's the better song, Hey Y'all, or Nas Barkley's Crazy?
Crazy.
I think Crazy too.
It's more timeless. It's more well thought out. It's better written. The beat's better. It's not
Mm.
even like Mike. When I listen to the Love Below, I actually skip Hey Ya. I actually like Spread, Prototype, and She Lives in My Lap significantly more, and find myself pretty satisfied with the zone that he's going in after I hear those records.
I agree. I think that
Oh,
Andre's
and
one.
Vibrate. Oh, and Vibrate.
Vibrate's
Vibrate's the
awesome.
shit.
I think that
Vibrate.
what the Love Below showed us was that Andre is one of the strongest songwriters ever in hip hop. But with that being said, I think that overall CeeLo's more talented than Dre.
Mike, I'm taking a 2 minute break. I can't with you.
No, no, don't take a 2 minute break. We're almost done with the show. Hold on. That's not disrespectful. How is that disrespectful?
Mike,
Everybody in this thread just admitted that Crazy is better than Hey Y'all. Crazy is.
that's CeeLo more talented than Andre, Mike.
Why is CeeLo
No,
not more talented than Dre? Is CeeLo not a better singer than Dre?
he's a better singer, but what has he done with by being a better singer? Like, where's the proof? Like
Huh?
Mike, Mariah can out sing. Mike, can Mariah out sing Mary J. Blige every day of the week?
Of course.
Okay, so what? I mean, being a better singer doesn't constitute what you want to hear necessarily. Ain't nobody fucking with Minnie Riperton. I don't see nobody rolling around playing Minnie shit all the time. She can bring a glass with her voice. Like, so
CeeLo is more talented. That's not saying who's quote unquote music we like more. I think CeeLo's done more music. I think he's done more as an MC for us to, be able to digest that as a writer, a singer. We've seen CeeLo on hooks. We've seen CeeLo spit. He's more versatile than Dre. He wrote
I just
he wrote Don't You for the Pussycat Dolls, man. He did. You want to talk about big records? CeeLo wrote Don't You for the Pussycat Dolls. What did Dre write for anybody? Anything that Dre wrote for people, he had to be on. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna argue with you more about Andre. Like
Who
I'm realized that at some point I'm gonna have to stop arguing with you about Andre 3000. And
who
I
has
think
the better
today
verse on Get Up, Get Out?
that's not fair. Who has the better verse on thought process?
Andre. But it's
All
not
right,
by
then.
far. It's not by far.
Hold on, Mike. If we really want to know the truth, I didn't think CeeLo did that much better than Dre on Get Up, Get Out.
I think he did.
Listen to what Dre was saying then in '94 and how prevalent it is to what just happened in this election with the state of Georgia.
Every
telling me that I
election.
need to get out and vote. Huh? Why? Ain't nobody black running but crack curb, so why I got to register? I'm thinking of better shit to do with my time. Never smelled the aroma of diploma, but I write them deep ass rhymes. So let me take y'all way back to when a nigga stayed in Southwest Atlanta. A. Y'all could not tell me nothing. Thought I hit that bottom rock at age 13. Start working at the loading dock. They laying my mama off of work. General Motors tripping, but I come home bang like Hank from licking and dipping, doing dumb shit, not knowing what a nigga know now. Yeah, that petty shit will have you cased up and locked down. I dips Over to East Point, still acting a fool, wasting my time in the school. I'd rather be shooting pool. Cool as how I played the 10th grade. I thought it was all about macking hoes and wearing pimp fade. Instead of being class, I'd rather be up in some
Okay, we got the whole verse.
Thinking about those 6 courses that I need to pass. Graduation rolled around like roly-poly. Damn, that's fucked up. I should have listened when my mama told me that if you play now, you're gonna suffer later. Figured she was talking yang, so I paid her no attention and kept missing the point. She tried to poke me with the doper that I get, the more I'm feeling broken shit.
But you know what? I didn't like the roly-poly line.
Better than what I just said, Mike. That's what I'm saying, Mike. CeeLo verse ain't that much better than that shit.
I didn't like the roly-poly line. I didn't like the roly-poly line. But I will say, I don't recall.
You think about Dre more than anybody from Atlanta I've ever seen, Mike. You know that I've never seen somebody break Dre down like you. And I felt like I was hard on Dre until we started talking about Dre live on these podcasts, because you just be making me feel like it's like, okay, got to take up for Andre this week. There's no telling what Mike gonna say.
I don't recall ever graduating at all. Sometimes I feel I'm just a disappointment to y'all.
It's the better verse. It's the better verse, Mike. But it's not by much.
Yeah. Now, I will give Dre that thought process. He did do that. Shannon said in due times, Shannon said, I love this page, by the way. Y'all need to make a nigga a top member. Facebook does that, but we'll holler at Facebook and see what we can do. But they said in due time, they all snap. And you know what? In due time, I'm rolling with Dre on that one. But it's funny, man. They don't really rap together a lot. Who's ducking who when it comes to Dre and CeeLo? I don't know. Did Dre rap on Slum Beautiful?
Ooh, Dre got him on Slum Beautiful.
Did Dre rap on Slum Beautiful?
Yes, he did.
And Dre got him on Trans DF Express.
That's what I'm saying. Drake's better, Mike. Like, it ain't nothing personal. It's the best rapper to ever come out of Atlanta. That's what I'm saying. Like when people, like, I don't know why we're having this discussion. Like, I really don't. Dre's the best MC that ever came out of Atlanta. There's a gap between him and the person who's in second place. And CeeLo's not the person in second place.
Well, this is the thing. I said more talented, right? Actually, I think if you ask me, I think CeeLo's probably the second best rapper in Atlanta. But I think I will say,
Mike, what's his best rap song? Name a great CeeLo rap song. Name
Big
one.
Old Words.
Name one great CeeLo.
Big Old Words. But don't do that, Coop, because we can't.
Words?
Coop. Don't do that, because we can't even name one Andre rap song, because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That's the thing. Don't do that to me. There's no Andre rap songs. If you can name me an Andre song where there's 3 verses and there's hooks in there, where he holds down the song himself,
but
we can't name
that's kind
one.
of the point that I'm trying to make. CeeLo can make all the rap songs that he wants, and it's going to exceed Dre's catalog like massively. And he still don't have a verse better than Thought Process. Okay.
Shannon said he does have a verse better than Thought Process. You know what verse is better than Thought Process? His verse.
Maybe Bag.
No. CeeLo's verse on that DJ Muggs joint, that Decisions, is better than just about any Andre verse.
What was it? The relentless realism, regardless, represents skills that question manifest success offers.
Yeah. What said it's meant from the fullest extent, no nonsense, because my conscience wouldn't be content with just a little wealth and a little fame, but your mind frame will keep you living the same. And it's a shame that niggas would settle for the ghetto. Hold some clothes and they make it what you suppose. Got your eyes closed to what your contract shows in fine print. You got to get back every cent you spent. You content, cuz.
Right.
You do what everybody does. The industry done changed from the person you was. Woo!
Mike. Just off that one verse, I'm going to let you have it for the night, because Decisions was epic.
Yeah.
But understand this, that Decisions verse you talking about, Dre got about 20 verses like that.
No, I think Dre's the better rapper. But when we start talking about who's the better singer, I think that CeeLo's span from his singing ability is way further than the span between Andre and CeeLo as rappers. It just is. And we talk about all-around talent, I don't think anybody's seeing CeeLo, man. And, I mean, Andre had the, opportunity, I guess, to actually prove that different. But Jones is still talking about a day in the life of Andre Benjamin. 5 straight minutes of Dre rapping.
Please. Double stop. He's not helping my case when he does that. He's not helping my case when he does that.
We
Double
got one
stop.
song, man. All right. If we do give Dre that song, we still don't have any Dre songs where we could say that he held down the record himself. Shannon says that T.I. is the best rapper out of Atlanta, and I'm not mad at that.
He's number two. He's who I have number two.
I think T.I. put in the work, and
Andre, T.I., Big Boy, then CeeLo.
Where do you got Killer Mike and Luda in this?
5. Mike is 5.
So you think Killer Mike's better than Luda?
Yes, I always have though. Like I've always respected Luda and liked Luda a lot, and I've always seen his talent. Like, I mean, you got to be a special guy to show Nas and Jadakiss up on a New York sounding record. You know what I'm saying? The Made You Look remix, more shit out on the street than Evicted Tenants. Like, Luda's can spit. It's just he never really did it for me personally, but he deserves consideration. I prefer Killer Mike.
I think, and I get that.
Like, I mean, Mike, I love Jeezy more than all these guys, and he didn't even make my top 5. I'm just objective. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's my shit isn't necessarily what I think is the best.
What do you think about Luda's verse on Welcome to Atlanta?
Like, I could ride around listening to Trapper Die and Trapper Die 2 all day and not touch anything from Dungeon Family or from Tip and be perfectly fine. That's how much I love Jeezy, but he's not even in my top 5.
Well, before we get up out of here,
him and Luda at a tie.
Before we get up out of here, since we're talking Jeezy, do you think Jeezy stands a chance against T.I. in this versus?
What do you mean stand a chance? That's Snowman. Yeah. This is about to be great. This might be the best verses.
You know what? I always root for the underdog.
Mike.
I rooted for Fab. I'm rooting for Jeezy.
Mike, I told you when they talked about this going down, if Jeezy playing shit off Trapper Die or Trapper Die 2, Tip's in trouble.
What else could Jeezy play?
What, Mike? That's disrespectful. What do you mean? What can
No,
he play?
what I'm saying is he knows what his strongest stuff is.
Right.
See, he's
he's
in a RZA position. He's in a RZA position where it's like he's know what people want to hear. He's not gonna play the song with Kanye Amazing over that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not.
I mean, there's some middle ground. Like, Mike, Who Dat off the Recession? Oh, he need to play Who Dat. Ooh, that's one of the best songs that ever came out of Atlanta. Like,
is he gonna play stuff like You Dig?
He need to play that 3 o'clock in the morning shit that he did with Timberland off the Inspiration.
You like that? I never liked that.
I liked it because it was something different from him. That's going to be one of his switch-up joints. He needs some of those.
I think he could beat T.I.
I do too. He's got the records for it.
I think
Mike, Go Crazy. Oh, Mike, what's the song with Tip and Scrappy? Peace Up. A-Town down, hit 'em up. Yeah,
you know what? I think that's one of the reasons why T.I. was really aiming at 50, because we knew what 50 would play, right? Like, I think that T.I. is going to have to really configure his catalog a certain way with Jeezy. And the thing is, Jeezy's local stuff, or the stuff that would be perceived as local, is nationwide. And everybody heard it, because Jeezy came out in an era, he came out in the digital era, where people were playing the local stuff nationwide. So everybody recognizes that. And so T.I. is going to be playing stuff, because T.I.'s local stuff isn't as nationally known, right? And the nationally known stuff that T.I. has doesn't stand with that Jeezy stuff.
Mike, Jeezy's man, like,
I'm rooting for Jeezy on this. I think that T.I. should be he should be the overwhelming favorite.
He should be the favorite, but no favorite is in more trouble than T.I. is with Jeezy right there.
So, if T.I. loses, what does that do to his King of the South crown?
I mean, that depends on how you look at it. I mean, a lot of people feel like he's past his prime anyway. I think losing this isn't going to necessarily hurt his legacy, because for those of us down here who both love Tip and Jeezy, and I love them both, we've always kind of looked at them as equals. It's like you probably respected Jeezy's street shit more, and you probably like Tip as an MC more, and I think that's not going to change once you walk away from this, regardless of who wins.
this
So I
is
don't know if it's
this is
gonna
where
hurt
I
him.
stand on it. I think that we're gonna
Hold on.
see whose catalog actually aged better. And honestly, I'm not sure how well Ti's catalog aged. But yeah, of course they're gonna celebrate each other. You know, that's what this versus is about. But Ti has also made it very competitive in saying things like, you know, snowman are seasonal, kings are forever. I would hate to have to melt the snowman and all that stuff. So at that point, you know, we're gonna have to see what Jeezy's gonna be able to do to basically change. I mean, what could Ti say even after that? Because I will have to admit, Rick Ross humbled 2 Chainz when it came to that versus, and it really showed how strong Rick Ross's catalog was. And you know, even though it was friendly, it's still it is what it is. The music spoke, and we could tell that, you know, 2 Chainz and Rick Ross have a very different catalog. But
No, 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 no. I don't know if Ross and 2 Chainz is where I would go with the comparison, though, Mike. That's what I mean. Like, I told you, Mike, I didn't like that versus anyway because I felt like Chainz was out of his weight class because Ross is a boss, and I'm not like I'm saying that like in jest as well, but Ross is a boss in the sense that it's like, no, like I don't know if there's ever been a rapper with Rick Ross's catalog that gets disrespected for how many great records this dude has. It's
well,
like,
I was
well,
just
like you
comparing.
know, it's a little disrespectful to Ross to put him with 2 Chainz. It's like, what have y'all been listening to?
Nah,
Because
I
Ross
was
wasn't joking. Ross wasn't joking when he was like, "I got 20 more," and because I was looking at the
no,
stuff
I
that he
agree.
won with, like he got 20, 30 more
I was
bangers.
comparing what people feel about a person's catalog after the fact, because you know people can say it's all friendly and everything, and it is, because Jada and Fab were friendly, but we look at Fab's catalog a little different after the Jada thing. You know, at least I do, because when you get to see them matched up, same thing with Snoop and DMX. Love DMX. I think DMX is one of the greats. I think DMX is a top 20 dude. But next to Snoop, after we heard his catalog matched up with Snoop, we put things in perspective. And I think that if Jeezy's able to do that against Ti, it could still be all friendly, but people are gonna think, well, Ti's catalog didn't age that well. I don't think his catalog aged well. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Some of it did, some of it didn't.
yeah,
Like I'll tell you, something that didn't age well. Rubber Band Man didn't age well.
no,
No.
nothing from
So
I'm Serious aged well. Did Bring 'Em Out age well?
I still like Bring Them Out, kind of. It's middle, touch and go,
I'm gonna
kind of,
be
kind
honest,
of.
man. Do you really feel about those records like how you feel about them Jeezy records when they come on?
That's what I mean when it's like people are acting like Tip should be the favorite, but no favorite is in more trouble because it's like what you think Tip could win with, Jeezy has the record that's gonna make you be like, but that shit hard compared to that. So go ahead and put it up.
Exactly.
Right. Like if Jeezy play Air Forces, like you know what I mean? Like if Tip play like Why You Want It and Jeezy come on with Air Forces after, like it's over. You feel me? Like
Shannon
Mike, I told you,
Shannon says
Jeezy
Dope Boys in
will
the Trap. I think Dope Boys in the Trap is dated. I liked Hotel. I think Hotel's dated. Um, Jones says it Bring About has aged okay. I don't know, man. That whole Jigga sample, like that shit, it has a stamp on it. It has a time stamp on it.
right. I mean, you know, but
Yeah,
like I said, like there's other stuff though. I mean, obviously what you know
of
is
course.
getting played.
I would say what you
24 is
know and
getting
you don't
played.
know me aged very well. And see, that's why I feel like he was running from Busta Rhymes because he
You
keeps
don't
talking
know me
about
actually aged better. You don't know me sounds better now than it did when it came out actually.
it. You know, it makes me feel like Ti doesn't feel like his own catalog aged well because he keeps talking about not going against certain people because of nostalgia. And it's like, okay, well, if your stuff actually aged well, that shouldn't matter. Because honestly, Jay Z could put public service announcement that came out in '03 against shit that came out in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter, really.
He
What are
can put
you
it out against
afraid
shit that
of?
came out today too.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
will win. And he will win.
Exactly. Exactly.
He
You
will
know,
win
and
with
it's
that
like,
record. you would win with that record.
Why is T.I. so afraid to go against a record that came out in '93? It makes it sound like your records ain't really aged that well or something. Because he said that. He was like, if somebody plays something from '93, what I'm going to do? What you mean?
Well, I mean, I actually, when you said that, Mike, I thought, well, Snoop just did that to DMX because that was straight 92, 93 that he played. And it was no problem with it. But I don't know how fair that is to bring up. Like, the two verses that you brought up were the verses that I was most worried about. I told you in the Fab and Kiss thing, I was like, I don't like that for Fab. And when the Rick Ross Chainz thing was happening, I told you I don't like that for Chainz.
Well, yeah.
And both of them went down the way that I thought. This isn't going to go down like that, first of all.
Who you picking?
But it could go down the way Snoop and DMX's is going down, but it'll never happen to that effect because it's like I said, the thing that was astounding about the Snoop verses is that you realize, oh yeah, that guy wrote 2 of the 10 best rap albums ever, and he's the only guy in history that can say that. Like I was sitting back, I was like, oh yeah, he wrote The Chronic too. Oh shit, like it's a whole problem for everybody.
Shannon Green says nobody can.
X wasn't going to be the only legend to take that L, Mike. Like Jay might have took that L, it just wouldn't have been as bad.
I agree. Shannon says nobody can battle Buster. He would have been a fool. But see, that's the thing. I think Snoop could have done it.
When Snoop was saying he wanted to smoke with Jay, I was kind of thinking like, Snoop, what are you thinking? No. Mm-hmm. My bad, Snoop. What was I thinking? Because he would have beat Jay.
Well, I think I told you when that whole thing got set up with DMX. I said them Dre records hit different.
Them Dre records hit different.
Dr. Dre is a lot of things. How about that? But Dr. Dre is by far the best producer in the history of hip hop. By far.
Totality, if we're talking executive production and just production as well, then yes. Because Mike, the shit hit different. You're right.
It hits different.
All the Dre records, if he played, it was like, win for Snoop.
I think the most telling moment of that night is when DMX played Slippin', which is one of his best records and really one of the best hip hop records of that era. And then Snoop came with Murder Was the Case. I'm sorry, say that again?
It's one of his 5 best written songs. Like as far as the pen game on Slippin', that's one of his best.
And it's held very high among everybody. And after he was done with that and Snoop played Murder Was the Case and dwarfed it, I was like, jeez. This nigga's...
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I just thought about something. It's like you just bought up public service announcement and then Snoop plays nothing but a G thing and it's like that record didn't even fucking exist.
I think that Snoop could play Serial Killer against that. I mean, he could.
Mike, I was actually thinking the Shiznit beats PSA. Right.
Dr. Dre and Snoop, man, are the best combination ever, man. It's
it would have been the Snoop Buster thing is starting to look like that was the matchup that we missed out on.
That's the matchup we needed. That's the matchup we needed.
Snoop and Buster was the matchup we needed, and low key didn't know it. Yeah.
They wanted to help out DMX, and I think that's great. You know what I'm saying? Like bringing DMX back into the consciousness, but.
Like he wrote The Chronic and Doggy Style in back-to-back years.
Yeah. Did he play any of the 2001 stuff? No?
I don't think so. I don't think he had to.
He didn't
like that's terrifying, Mike.
Yeah.
You want to know what? Ain't nobody. Buster can't beat Snoop.
Nobody can beat Snoop. And you know how I feel about Buster. I think that
nobody can beat Snoop at this. I'm thinking like Mike, like. What does anybody have for this shit? Like, what do you have for Murder Was the Case? Nothing but a G thing. The Shiznit, G's and Hustlers, Doggy Dog World.
The only person that can beat Snoop is Dr. Dre himself.
Right. Like, I'm going to pull out my Ice Cube, Nas, Jay, Eminem, Aftermath. Like, I'm going to pull out all this other shit.
Pull out Still DRE and shit. Right, Let Me Ride and shit.
Right, Still DRE. Oh my God, he didn't use any 2001 stuff, Mike.
He did. The next episode.
Hold on, Mike, with everything that we just said, isn't it kind of a travesty that we don't talk about Snoop as a top 20 MC? Think about everything we just said.
I
Like,
think a lot of it is the fact that he's had Dr. Dre. I think that kind of like what we were talking about offline when we were talking about Common, and a lot of as great as Common's catalog is, his best work is clearly when he works with a Kanye or when he works with a Dilla. So
Easy and Dilla. Yep.
I think that when you have artists who are making their by far best work with certain producers attached, it kind of takes away from us giving them the credit that they probably deserve too. So I think that the fact that Snoop's not held in some of those countdowns is based on the fact that he's attached with Dr. Dre, honestly.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
Common's for different reasons. I truly feel like if Common was from the Bronx or from Brooklyn, he would be thought of as a top something MC. But yeah.
I mean, I think he had. I think you and I talked about this online. I mean, offline. I think he's one of those guys that has slid back further in the last 5 to 10 years
I think so too.
due to lack of output and lack of quality output. Mike, I had him right next to Black Thought, like around the time that B and Finding Forever was coming out.
Well, this is the thing about Common, and since you mentioned Black Thought has turned up the intensity on the spitting, and while Common has turned it all the way down. Like, when's the last time we really heard Common out here spitting? Like, not on some, and I don't want to sound disrespectful. I'm just keeping it real as a hip hop fan. Not on some ABC rhyming shit. You know what I'm saying? When have we heard Common just like really spitting where we like, yo, he going in?
Finding Forever.
It's been a minute. Finding Forever was like '07.
Yeah.
Because I was watching Chappelle's show the other day, man, and in the episode where the food was debuted came on. And I'm like, yo, this nigga is spitting. He don't rap like that no more. It's just what it is. Like,
hold on. Let's not forget that before B came out, he had stopped rapping like that for a couple of years before. So
he did.
Obviously, the finding the wind in his sails has always been an issue for him, so to speak, on an inspiration level. And he might have just. I mean, Mike. He might have just peaked in that frame of time. The transition from Dilla to Kanye, from Like Water for Chocolate, Electric Circus to Most is a misstep, even though I know you enjoy it. But that time from Like Water for Chocolate through Finding Forever was probably his prime, because his 3 best albums got made during that time: Like Water for Chocolate, B, Finding Forever.
But it makes you feel like producers actually were able to get that out of him, and that's the thing.
I mean,
and see,
he's a lyricist, and so I feel that way about lyricists in general. It's just more pronounced. How about this? It might be more pronounced with him because in Kanye and Dilla, you were literally working with 2 of the 10 best beat guys ever. Just like beat the beat, Mike, beat the beat. And
I can't lie, man. I think
what I'm saying is that there's a gap between Dilla and Kanye and every other producer he's worked with, and the gap reflects in the music. But I think there's a lot of MCs like that.
Well, see, I think that also if we're talking about Kanye and we're talking about Dre and Snoop, we give Kanye and Dre those credits because we've seen them do this with other people. We've seen Kanye get the best out of John Legend. We've seen Kanye get the best out of Pusha T. We've seen Kanye get the best out of Jay-Z. We've seen Dr. Dre get the best out of the DLC. We've seen him get the best out of Exhibit. We've seen him get the best out of Corrupt. So it's like, so now we got to kind of start giving the producer that credit. And that's kind of what takes away from that. Because let's be honest, like when you listen to Corrupt and Exhibit, for example, on a Dr. Dre album, they sound way different than they do on their own shit.
Fair.
And it's what it is. It's a
Exhibit. That album was the one Dre executive produced. It wasn't even a conversation.
Yeah, man. And it's like, when people want to talk about what Dre made and what he didn't and who's making beats for him, whoever you're saying is doing whatever, that shit don't sound like it does when they're on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like that it does on the Dre album. And those are things we can't deny. It's just what it is.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Isn't every MC a victim of that to a degree? Like I told you, like I had Thought's album as one of the 10 best albums this year, but that was more of an objective opinion because I'm like, yo, if you ain't heard Thought regularly the way that I have, listen to the walking standard for bars. The production is eclectic and good, and you get what I'm saying? Like there was enough going on with it, but it's like I'm still waiting for Thought to have that moment with the producer that you're talking about too.
And
You
whose
feel what I'm
fault is
saying?
that?
Huh?
Whose fault is that though? You think that's gonna happen, or do you think there's
I
not a
don't know,
producer? Because I think that he was trying to find that with these different volumes when he did the Ninth Wonder project and then he did the Salon Remy project.
yeah, but that's what I keep saying. It's like you're the walking standard for bars. You're Philly. Like Primo, Alchemist, Havoc, anybody. Like I know him such an artist and such a thinker. He's probably the best rudimentary to